He's seen it. He doesn't have to hear. He's a smart one. He doesn't have to hear much. But he's a great guy. He's a little on the tall side, I will tell you. He's a tall one. But he's a good-looking guy, and he's really been a great student. And he does like politics. It's sort of funny. He'll tell me sometimes, Dad, this is what you have to do. So anyway, he's a good guy. He's a senior now in high school, and he'll be going to college. And a lot of these choices of colleges are changing because you see what's going on in the last month. Biden has totally lost control of the country.
Here's a story I think some of you will appreciate. So Donald Trump did another Twitter space tonight, and there was a very special guest speaker on that live who was none other than Barron Trump, who appears to have made his debut onto Twitter/X. The host kind of alluded and confirmed, yes, this is Barron Trump's actual Twitter account. And a lot of people are excited about this because, as you may know, he has become something of a celebrity in the MAGA movement over the past couple of months.
A very young man is now going to college, got into every college he wanted to, and he made his choice. And he's a very good guy, I'll tell you. I'm not allowed to call them boy, but he is my boy. He's my boy. They're all my boys, right? When you have sons, you can be any age. They're your boy. They're always going to be. And he's a very special guy. Barron Trump. This is the first time he's heard about Barron. Where is Barron?
Folks, if you enjoy the content, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you are new. But this is a lot more than just a random cameo tonight. As we've heard and Trump himself has talked about, Barron Trump has actually been instrumental in kind of helping advise Trump when it comes to young people, the youth vote, as well as talking about stuff like crypto, the internet, kind of all the new wave stuff that obviously Trump at his age doesn't really know about. Trump has already talked about in the past how Barron helped him set up the Aiden Ross and Logan Paul interviews. But listen tonight as Trump reveals even more about the political advising that his 18-year-old son is doing for his campaign.
I also know a lot of friends that are really into it. And my kids, Barron knows, believe in it. I also know a lot of friends that are really into it. And my kids, Barron knows so much about this.
Right.
Eric, and Barron's a young guy, but he knows it. He talks about his wallet. He's got 4 wallets or something. And I'm saying, what is a wallet? Explain this to me. But he knows this stuff inside out. And Eric and Don know it so well.
They do.
It's almost like younger people know it a lot better than older people. But I have a lot of respect for them. They've shown great judgment, all of them. And I think you're onto something. You're onto it a lot sooner than most people believe it.
And that, folks, is why I say it's a lot deeper than just a meme. Barron Trump, unironically, has a very bright future with whatever he chooses to do, and it appears like he's leaning towards the direction of he wants to one day be in politics because he's a crypto bro, he's young, he's already calling the shots for Trump. But the real reason I say that is because from everything I've heard privately about Barron, he is simply that guy. He has the it factor for this type of stuff the way his dad does.
I'm doing a podcast. Wow. I get an email saying Barron Trump wants to have dinner with you because he follows the content. We get there and Barron comes out and we go sit down and have dinner with Barron. Now you got to realize I'm so curious who this kid is, right? I've never seen Tom laugh this hard for an hour and a half. And we just watched Barron run dinner with stories, entertainment, everything.
It's witty, smart, hilarious, he was smart on politics. He's like, everybody's always going to fight. There's left, there's right. I think one of the hardest I laughed is when he goes, look, because all of a sudden the music just comes on loud, right, Jesse? And we're like, what the hell is that? He's like, my freaking dad's the DJ. All you see is the president on his iPad, the lights in his face.
Nothing compares. Nothing compares to you. Are we really playing?
And I love it because you look back and it's Donald Trump, the light on his thing, and Barron's like, guys, like I'll be in my room and the house is shaking. Like my dad plays the music loud.
And get ready for 9-year-old Barron Trump, the youngest with wife Melania. The butler says Barron may be more like his father than any of them.
Barron was 2.5 years old. I took his breakfast into him. He was sitting in his high chair, and he looks at me and he said, "Tony, sit down. We need to talk."
Barron says this.
Barron said it, 2.5 years old. Blew my mind.
He is the most like Donald of any of the Trump kids. That is not me saying that. That is the former butler of the president talking about that very thing. So I don't know, just kind of a lighthearted video here today, folks. But in all seriousness, I think it's very important, and props to Barron Trump for helping set some of this stuff up. It is very important that Trump kind of diversify his outreach to younger people, to the internet, etc. Is it necessarily going to make the biggest difference in the election? No, I'm not saying that. I don't think a Twitter space or young voters are going to magically save him or, deliver the victory. But I will say in a close election, every single vote matters. And that, I think, is really the difference between the political approach of Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. Kamala's running a campaign that's very focused on the macro, on the big things, not really big on the details, which is pretty well reflected by the fact that she literally still does not really have a campaign platform, right? Who cares about the details? We're just going to rely on the base to hopefully deliver us the election. But on the flip side, I see from the Trump campaign that they're very focused on some of these little things. Hey, Aiden Ross has a platform. Logan Paul has a platform. Screw it. Let's take an hour aside and do those interviews. Bitcoin, crypto is a big community. Let's speak at their convention. Even the libertarians, even though I'm going to get booed in that building, hey, let's try to make an attempt for outreach. And I think the biggest example of this perhaps is the RFK situation, right? When RFK tried to talk to Trump, Trump welcomed him with open arms. He said, let's have a discussion. You now see how much RFK is going to be helping Trump in the election. Whereas on the flip side, when RFK tried to go to Kamala Harris, they said, no, we're not even going to talk to you. Why? Because their arrogant campaign did not really believe they needed the votes, right? Those extra little things that, again, if you win in a landslide, it doesn't really matter. But by all current indications, this is going to be a very close election. And what I see from the Trump campaign, especially with the help of people like Barron, is a focus on those little things. Do as many interviews as possible. Hey, maybe you'll reach someone. Maybe you get 1,000 voters in this state or that state, whatever. Speak to the crypto bros. Reach out to RFK. Doing all of these things because, frankly, nothing, and I mean nothing, can be taken for granted. And I think that's a very positive element of Donald Trump's political approach. That said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comment section down below. Be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe if you are new, and until next time, God bless and peace.